Hope you are doing well. So, I am actually live on YouTube and my Instagram. Wanted to say hello, but also talk about a few things, mainly stupid questions and why they are stupid. Okay, so excuse the rant, but there's a reason why I have a stupid question issue, and I'd like to share it with you. So, here it is. I would like to say there's no such thing as a stupid question. However, um, that's not true. There are stupid people that maybe ask stupid questions. There's maybe lazy people that ask stupid questions. But yeah, there are stupid questions. Um, and I could give you many examples. I don't want to go into that, but you can imagine some of the stupid questions that you would see. And I know I put myself out there to ask people to ask questions, and I will answer questions. I ask for people to ask me questions all the time, and I'm going to get some stupid ones. And here's what I call a stupid question, and here's why I get on it, because I'm actually training you. I am a coach. I consider myself a coach, and I'm helping people prepare for a variety of military, law enforcement, firefighter professions. And there's one thing that you will need in there, along with your physical fitness abilities, but you will need to learn the word initiative. And the word initiative is going to help you understand why it's important in a military, law enforcement, firefighter setting, saving someone's life or saving your own. Because the definition is this: it's your ability to assess, kind of figure out, uh, initiate, that's where it comes from, things independently. And the big word there is independently. Okay. Or act, take charge before others do, lead. Okay. Initiative is all a part of that. And no matter where you are in your journey, enlisted, officer, whatever, you will be asked to do something. And sometimes that will have a specific set of guidelines that you have to follow. That's an easy way to do it. And sometimes there'll be no guidelines you have to follow, and you have to take the initiative and figure out how to do it. There's a great little short story essay done by Elbert Hubbard called Message to Garcia. I'd highly recommend reading that. It takes maybe 20 minutes to read. It's a great story, true story in the Spanish-American War about this young Lieutenant Rowan who was supposed to take a message to a General Garcia in Cuba. And President McKinley personally handed it to him, right? So that's how important it was. He didn't give him any directions. He's in Cuba. Go find him. All right. So that is a lesson of working hard and taking the initiative and figuring things out on your own along your journey, taking a boat ride, mules in the jungles, in the mountains, right? So he figured it out and was able to get the job done. So anyway, that is the message to Garcia. I would highly recommend doing that. Let me just give you an example of what I think stupid questions are. Stupid questions are mainly ones that lack any initiative or research on the person who is asking that question. So, for instance, someone can ask me about a question like, hey, Stu, what's the I requirements to become a Navy SEAL? Well, first of all, for me to answer that, you know what I would do? I would go to Google, type in 2019 I requirements Navy SEAL. Because, one, they change these things pretty often, right? It's referenced material, and I don't remember them. Is it 2040, 2070 in one eye, 2070 other eye, correctable to 2020, LASIK and PRK, are they waiverable? All those things come into play now, and so not everybody's going to remember those things. You need to find it out for yourself. That is probably one of the biggest type of questions that shows me, not that you're stupid, just that you're lazy. right? And you didn't do enough research on your own. And put it this way, if you're going to do any job in your future, right, any job whatsoever, you need to be really focused on finding out about that job, right? You need to do your research. It's very important. I shouldn't tell you what the PST 5 exercises are, right? You should know what those are. You should practice them. You should do them, right? So anyway, that's big. So there's a long list of reasons why you can't get into the military. The department, or I guess the Bureau of Medicine, let's say the Navy's Bureau of Medicine, has a long list, and it is pages and pages and pages. It's a manual long of why people can't serve, right? There's no human being alive that remembers that reference material, right? And you asking that question shows that you really have no idea what you're getting into, right? By asking Google that, for one, you'll realize, holy crap, there's a lot of reasons why I can't get in. I don't know all of the hip and knee and ankle issues that can occur that keep you out of the military. No one does, right? Google that shit. All right. So let's take some questions. So let's see what we got here. We have physically ready to take the PST, but MEPS is taking a while. Recommendations keep getting better. Keep training. Keep training. Like, your job right now is to get to the training, and that requires you to crush a PST. So crush that PST. Get a little bit better. But if you're already crushing it, let's also think about what's next. To get to the training, you got to crush the PST. Next level is, you got to get through the training, right? So that means your 1.5 mile run is going to turn into 4-mile timed runs, and your 500-meter swim is going to turn into 2-mile ocean swims with scuba fins. So I would still keep doing your calisthenics and add in some lifting. Get ready for some of the load bearing of rucking, carrying boats on your heads. You can do that with sandbags, log PT, all of that. You should be starting to implement that, especially if your PST is in that, what I call my good enough range. In fact, I'll put in a link in the YouTube channel for the good enough article. There's, if you're already crushing the PST at, let's say, 8-minute swim, 80 to 100 push-ups and sit-ups, 20 pull-ups, 9-minute run, those are great scores. If you're in that range, that is good enough, is what I call it. If you're not in that range, you can work a little harder and try to get in that range, right? And then start focusing on getting through buds, because once you get there, you're going to have to change your testing every week. You're going to have 4-mile timed runs and 2-mile ocean swims and obstacle courses. And for the first 4 weeks, you're going to get crushed with boats and logs. So, and then Hell Week comes, and that's just a kick. And you got to gut check that one out. So that's a good question. I like that one. How much swimming should I do during a hypertrophy phase? I don't know why people are scared to do any cardio during a hypertrophy phase. You should run and swim. You can run and swim during hypertrophy phase. You don't have to run a lot. I'm not talking about running and swimming like a triathlete, but get in the pool and practice technique. You should at least be swimming 1,000 meters, right? 1,000 meters takes you less than 20 minutes to get done. Get it done, right? That's hardly going to take away your gains. Hate that term too. You don't lose your gains because you go running. You lose your gains because you're not eating enough calories at the end of the day, and you're not working out hard enough. Whew. Okay, so how often should I work out my posterior chain and upper back muscles to balance out the anterior muscles when performing upper body PST exercises? I put them all together. So if I'm working my upper body push muscles, for instance, I'm definitely going to do pull that same day, right? Just it balances it out. Now you could do push pull splits one day and do pull ups the next day, but I would seriously consider, like you're thinking, balancing out all that stuff. I mean, because it should be a 1-to-1 ratio, period. Right? As many pushes as you do, you should be that many pulls. Right? Many overheads you should do that many. You can do dips or rows. I like to mix in bicep overhead presses, right? And push presses and all of those. But yeah, you need to mix in all that. I mean, that's what is balance. Let me ask you what balance is. If I do 10 of this, how many do I need to get over here to balance it out? Do 10, right? Any routines to increase push-ups or pull-ups? Man, where have you been hiding? User. Yes, I got plenty of routines to increase push-ups or pull-ups. Plus, so does every other trainer out there in the world. Try a search. Now, you could try push-up push and pull-up push. In fact, on this very YouTube channel, you can see a video of me describing the pull-up push and the push-up push. Also with links and articles on Google. If you go Stu Smith, double your push-ups, double your pull-ups, you'll find an article, free 14-day program to help you do that. Now, will you double your push-ups? Some people do. Some people who stuck around 40 push-ups can double their push-ups to 80. But if you're stuck at 75, yeah, don't expect to hit 150. But we can get you in the 90s, pretty easily. Come on, man. Of course, we got routines for push-ups and pull-ups. I've been doing it for 20 years. What stretches or exercises would you recommend to prevent injuries? All of them. This is are you guys trying to ask stupid questions on the stupid question one? Some of you guys are. What are your thoughts about running with compression socks? That's a good question. I don't know. I know for me, I don't like running with compression socks, but I do like compression sleeves. I will say this: the only time I've run with compression socks is I had a very challenged Achilles tendon was bothering me quite a bit, and so I wrapped that thing up pretty tight, and I was able to run with it without a lot of pain. And that's the key. If you're not experiencing pain while running, that's good, right? So I have 3 rules for running. If it hurts to run, stop running. If it hurts to walk, don't even attempt to run. And if it hurts sitting around doing nothing, go to a doctor. Other than that, yeah, see if compression socks works to alleviate any pain that you might have, whether it's shin pain, it's calf muscle, Achilles muscle. Sometimes some of those smaller muscles in there get inflamed really easy, like your hallucis digitorum, hallucis digitorum longus. Those get really inflamed. Those are the ones that manage your toes, right? It depends on how tight your shoes are. Sometimes those can get inflamed. So, good question on that one. I only run if I'm nursing something with compression socks. Otherwise, I don't do them for any preventative maintenance. That's a really good question. I like that. All right. So I saw you do an ice water exposure on Discovery. Any tips to gradually max the cold water tolerance? You know what? That ice water was colder than any Bud's water that's out there. Think about Bud's water being around 56 degrees maybe at the coldest. And during the summer, you're going to get into the high 60s, maybe even low 70s. So somewhere between, let's say, 55 and 75 is a good temperature to play in, whether you're body surfing, just getting in the water, swimming around, splashing around. That's perfect. Don't get any colder than that. Any colder than that, you're going to risk hypothermia really fast. Whereas this range, you can at least stay in there and actually experience colder water for a little longer period, and appreciate some of the benefits of cold water exposure that um, cold water gives with inflammation and just post running or rucking pain. Dynamic stretches or static stretching? Both, yes, absolutely. I do both of them. So I will do dynamic stretches before workouts. I'll do static stretches after the workouts. Sometimes I'll just do a day of non-impact calisthenics and, non-impact cardio and static stretching. Call it my mobility day. It works really well. Let's see. You guys are asking some good questions. Some of you guys are just being funny with the stupid question thing. I realize that. Would you recommend conjugate method of lifting after 12 weeks to buds for maximal power and strength? Yes, I think lifting right after the 12-week to buds program is great, because the 12-week to buds program is all calisthenics, running and swimming, right? It's a high rep calisthenic running, swimming. It is mainly for endurance and muscle stamina. If you're wondering what that is this book here, 12 Weeks to Buds. That's what they call it, nickname, subtitled that. It's called The Complete Guide to Navy SEAL Fitness. And it's a good guide. I mean, it is all PST based and grinder PT based workouts in there. So give that a shot. But yes, absolutely, you should be lifting afterwards. All right, let's see. Thanks. See, running your 12-week program, and although definitely kicking my ass, I have some concerns about weight tolerance. Let's see. Getting crushed by boats, logs, ideas. Yeah. This is only a 12-week program, right? You should be doing lifting afterwards. 100%, right? Do a cycle of hard calisthenics and muscle stamina, endurance, and then afterwards do a lift cycle. Keep in some calisthenics and some running and swimming in there as well, so you don't lose it. But you definitely need to work some strength if you're not a strength guy. Now, if you're a football player like I was, I didn't touch weights for 2 years before buds, right? And never lost any strength. I just did calisthenics, running, and swimming. Some guys are strength guys, some guys are cardio guys. You got to figure out which one you are and work on that weakness. If your weakness is more strength than cardio, then yeah, you should be lifting more than doing running, swimming, and calisthenics, though you need to do those as well. Let's see. Be 28 2 weeks and very close to hitting your golden numbers. Oh, good. I know I'm an old guy for buds, but you're still in the zone. You got to go fast, though. Any longer wait, you're going to be asking for an age waiver that are very rarely given. But I'm more mature than anyone. Life experience, your thoughts? Yeah, I think 28-year-old is fine getting to buds. I wish I was 28 years old. So someone asked, what personal book that did I write? I've written several. If you go to stewsmithfitness.com, you will see this one along with 12 other published books. You see them behind me. Most of them are here. Warrior Workouts one. I won't go through all of them. Tactical Fitness, Tactical Strength, Tactical Mobility, Maximum Fitness. And then I got another 30 self-published books that are specifically geared towards the tactical fitness program you're getting involved with, like an FBI fitness workout or the Army Ranger fitness workout or Army new PFT workout, things like that. So that's how I tend to create. So yes, I have a ton of personal. Oh, you asked what's my personal favorite. Then you should ask what's my personal favorite. It's a sample of a dumb question. My personal favorite. I would say Tactical Fitness is my personal favorite. And this is probably one of my later books that I've written. I've evolved in my training programs. With this book, it is all calisthenics and running and swimming, which is needed, by the way. You need a phase of that. But this one right here has everything you need. You think of an element of fitness, it has it in there, right? Strength, power, speed, agility, flexibility, mobility, endurance, muscle stamina, grip. All of those things come into play. Running, rucking, swimming, all those come into play when you're going through the selection process for tactical professions. Let's see. Cornelius, my buddy Tank. Will breathing correctly during a run increase my distance? Yes. I'll cut you slack on that one. But yes, you breathing incorrectly will slow you down. 100%. Big inhales, big exhales. I usually try to inhale through my nose 1, 2, 3 steps while I'm running. 1, 2, 3, 2 to 3 steps while I'm exhaling through my mouth. So in my nose, out my mouth. Nice steady rhythm. And getting a rhythm like that, where people screw up is they're just all over the place with their breathing. Looking like they're about to pass out. Probably hyperventilating actually when they do that. So cool. Thanks, Dave. Firefighter. All right. Let's see. What else we got here? Can I come down to see you to do swim training? Yes. We do swim training 6 days a week. Right? If you go to stewsmith.com, click the free workouts link at the very top, red letters, can't miss it. Click that. You'll see our schedule. I'm in Maryland. If you want to come join us. And really, they're free. You can't argue with the price. They're basically my workouts that I just invite people to join. Today we had 25 people, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Good killer workout. We mixed weights in with calisthenics. We ran, did a lot of quarter miles, did some half miles, and then we swam about 1,500. And then we're working out again at 1 o'clock today to just do a quick run and swim cardio session. All right, let me see. Let me go with some Instagram questions here. You guys are asking. So, this is a fun one. What's the most amazing place I've ever visited in the Navy? I tell you what, I loved Italy. Now, is it amazing? Food's amazing. Never had a bad meal in Italy. Would highly recommend going to Italy at some point. I've probably been to Italy 3, 4, 5 times now, and even got pretty good with the language. Loved it. Beautiful water. People are nice. Man, it was fun. I liked Italy. But cool thing about when you're training for diving, you're diving off the coast of the Bahamas. You're diving off Puerto Rico. In the Caribbean with subs. I mean, it's just crystal clear water out there. Just beautiful. 100-foot visibility plus. That's the kind of stuff I enjoy. Definitely. What's the minimum amount of swimming you do recommend for someone for a week of preparation for buds? Very good question, because I just talked about that this morning. If you want to get in shape for a 500-yard swim, you should be swimming at least 1,000 to 1,500 yards every day. When I say every day, I'll give you 1 or 2 days off. So 5 to 6 days a week, you should be swimming 1,000 to 1,500 yards. If you want to get in shape to swim a 500-yard swim fast. Now, once you get that 500-yard swim down, nailing that, you now have to get in shape to swim 2 miles with a pair of scuba fins. Now, obviously, this is a progression where you got to get 1,000 with scuba fins, and then 2,000 with scuba fins, and then 3,000 with scuba fins, and then 4,000 with scuba fins. But every week at Buds, you're going to be tested on a 4,000-yard swim with scuba fins in the ocean. You should be getting good at that before you even go to Buds, right? Don't let your first 2-mile swim be, your first week of Buds, right? That's a miserable way to start training, right? You may fail if you don't know, right? Don't know if you don't test. Okay. Am I familiar with the perfect push-up devices? Yes, they are invented by one of my very best friends. In fact, I did podcast 100 with him. Tactical Fitness Report 100 did a 2 through and after with Alden Mills that created that device. Great story. Great guy. I was in his wedding. He was in my wedding. Went through Buzz together. We deployed together. So yes, I'm very familiar with the perfect push-up, and I saw it in its creation stages. I do not think they're easier than push-ups at all. They cut my reps in half. I think they are harder. They make regular push-ups easier. 100% easier. Do I swim with a snorkel? No, I don't. Let's see. Missed the New York City event statement. I have no idea what you're talking about. I didn't talk about going to New York. What common injuries, if any, during Bud's training? Oh man, there's so many injuries. Whew. Shin splints, IT band, patellofemoral syndrome, stress fractures. Usually those are the big ones right there, and from the waist down. Every now and then you get hip injuries, some shoulder injuries sometimes, and then illness. You get some sicknesses too, pneumonia, SIPE, swimmer-induced pulmonary edema, SIPE. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah, basically like water gets into your lungs. That's a one that will get you rolled. Rhabdo occurs, heat exhaustion. Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of things that can occur. So that's why you need to prepare now. Where does alcohol come into play for training for the PST? Well, it doesn't. In fact, I've written about alcohol and special ops training. You should Google that article. Alcohol and preparing for advanced special ops training. Stu Smith, look it up on Google. You'll find it. It's a military.com article. But basically, in a nutshell, it comes down to this. At some point, you need to start taking your life a little more seriously and taking your training more seriously if you really want to see the results you need to get to and through any selection program. And alcohol doesn't fit in any of those places. Now, are you young and stupid and you're going to drink? Yes, I did too. But eventually, it comes to a point where you got to take it seriously and do it. All right, so I leave for recruit training in 9 days. Any last minute advice? Yes. So you're about to go to boot camp, basic training. Don't touch your face all day, right? So you're going to be exposed to germs from all over the country, and people are going to be sick all around you. You're going to be washing your hands all the time. Wash your hands all the time. Do not touch your fingers in your eyes and your nose and your mouth. Keep them away. Keep germs away from you. Any way that germs can get in, they will find a way in. And try not to get sick during boot camp. That's probably the number one thing you need to do going there. So, because if you get sick, you catch pneumonia and you're feeling like crap, bronchitis, anything, right? And then you got to take a PST one day. That's the day you got to take the PST to pass. Guess what? You fail that, you're out of the program. So don't get sick. It's that important. You may get a second chance. You may not. Who knows? These are some good questions. But you guys understand why I'm going to close this up because it's been about 30 minutes. So you guys understand why the stupid question thing bothers me, right? Because it really just shows a lack of initiative and lazy effort on your part when you ask a question that's easily referenced on Google, right? I could understand if this was before the internet and someone writes me a letter and says, hey, where can I find more information about SEALs or whatever special ops that's out there? Because there wasn't a lot of information out there before. Now it's at the tip of your hands. Now, a lot of that information is outdated. I get it, but if you start off a question with, hey, I looked at this website that says this, I looked at this website and it says this, what's the latest vision requirement for Army Ranger, right? Good question. I would have to look that up as well to answer it, right? So do your work and research what you want to do. There's plenty of books out there, Lord knows. You should be able to read those. Find some information in books, in videos, and the internet. But what the best thing to do is go to the official website of the military and go there, because administratively they're going to set you up on all the latest and greatest requirements to get in, test scores, PST numbers, ASVAB numbers, CSORT, whatever you need to take these days to get into these trainings. They're going to have all the standards that you need and the journey that you need to do. I shouldn't be the guy telling you that. You should be going to sealswick.com or armyrangers.com or whatever they are, the websites that are the official military webpage, to find out some of those answers. Other than that, questions like many of you asked today are really good. I'm happy to walk you through different, ideas of training. If some training method's not working for you, there may be another training method that might work better for you. Because I don't claim to have the training method, right? I have a training method. I know it works. Does it work for everybody? If you do it, I would say 99% of people will see progress and reach their goals, right? Every now and then I get the people that says, I tried this workout, it just didn't work for me. Then you dig in a little deeper and you realize that they only did about half of it. And there's a reason why things don't work, right? So anyway, I got to run. It's been 30 minutes. I hope I didn't take up too much of your time with this. Thanks for asking questions. Do your research. Take the initiative. Read Message to Garcia. You'll see what I'm talking about, how important initiative is in a tactical profession in your future. You should know what that word means. All right. So there we go. All done. Have a good one. I'll see you another day.